It's like he expects a drunk person to get it.
That's all right. I kind of botched that one too.
I'm okay with drinking. We can do this over and over and over.
It's let it rip.
I just feel normal now.
You do. Good for you. That's called alcoholism.
It's not enough to have lived. We should be determined to live for something. Winston S. Churchill. Enjoy the journey, as it's not about the pursuit of the end, but what is in between that counts. But what if we arrive to the end of the journey and completely miss the lessons we were supposed to learn? What if we come to the end and lost all identity, or worse, never had it? Author and philosopher James Allen was quoted with saying, "To begin to think with purpose is to enter the ranks of those strong ones who only recognize failure as one of the pathways to attain." In this episode, I sit with two creators of the rock group, version 5. After 7 years of showcases all over the state, they had arrived to crossroads. However, the decision wasn't where to go, but who am I? Andy and Spencer were just kids when they began in the music industry. The brothers found common ground in music, and their father quickly noticed the opportunity. They begged their father to let them play at a local bar near their home. After all, what kid with an instrument didn't dream of performing in front of people? The brothers rounded up the only kid musicians they knew to complete a cover band. For the next 5 years, the band played everywhere they could. Studying during the week and performing on the weekends, Andy and Spencer called the band their first job. Today, their electronic rock music sound has garnered a community of thousands of fans and listeners from all around the world.
This is the old Lucid company, and we're trying some of their Evergreen Beers. Welcome to Brews and Eats with Badass Peeps.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This is a pretty special episode because I've never had two guests on at the same time. Let's dive into the Apricot Pale Ale. This is one of their staples. It's an Evergreen Beer. You can get it here all the time. Oh, I love that.
That's good. Yeah.
It's got fruity notes to it, but it isn't overly syrupy.
Yeah.
You know? Right.
Yeah. No, I'm into this kind of stuff because I like to drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
So
This is a lot of
This is
beer
like what
kind
you
of
bring out on the pontoon.
This is a boat beer. This is definitely a boat beer.
On a nice hot day, this is totally acceptable.
And
I
I'm
love
not,
this.
and it's not too sweet, like syrupy, like you said.
Right, right, which I think is important. I'm not a syrupy kind of a guy, so this is a good beer. I'm gonna do another sip of this.
We formed our first band in 2005, so 13 years ago, and we played a school talent show. And we got like you said, we're kind of attention-seeking people, so we like that, and pretty soon we played a few talent shows and stuff, but we wanted to take it kind of a step further. So we started playing out in like bars and stuff, and we got started when he was 12 and I was 15. We started playing out in bars.
Full 4-hour gigs.
Well,
The whole
15?
thing. The whole thing, 4 hours.
All covers at the time. We weren't writing anything yet, but that's how we got
Are
started.
we doing the 9 to midnight slots?
Or
Sometimes
10 to 2.
10 to 2 sometimes.
And the trick was that our dads actually ran the company, and since our dads were family, it's under different rules. You know what I mean? Like if you work for family members, you have different rules on when and where you can work.
Sure, in terms of employment.
Yep. So that's how we got it. And so all through high school, that was the only job
It was
I
the
had.
first job and only job I had for a long time.
Seriously?
Doing
Yep.
music,
Yep, that's all we were doing.
Well, we were doing like 80, 90 gigs a year for...
By the time I was 16 and he was 14,
middle of high school, we were doing, 1 or 2 gigs every week in high school and everything, so...
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How did you keep up with schoolwork and the stuff that you needed? I mean, you both graduated from college.
Yeah.
So how did you, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to say that falling in love with music is a lot like a drug.
It bites you, yeah.
And you're going to,
Completely get rid of any social life you ever thought you would have.
and learning, I mean, you're gonna screw college. I'm doing this for the rest of my life.
No, it ended up working out because it was on the weekends. So it wasn't during the week. So school and playing out really wasn't that hard to balance. I mean, maybe we had to get more of our homework done during the week, but it actually ended up being really good.
That we were doing homework on the way to shows.
On the road
I mean,
and
I
stuff.
did that a lot.
Yep.
So who helped you get the shows?
At that time, my dad did all of our booking because, I mean, I'd walk in there and they'd be like, yeah, right. And so my dad would go into bars and be like, hey, I got this great cover band, they play, and we were playing a lot in northern Minnesota, so they like classic rock. They're like, they play classic rock, they're good and whatever, and the bar's like, yeah, we'll take a chance on them. And we walk in and they realize that we're anywhere from 15 down to 12 years old. And, but we always got booked back, so they liked it.
I love how you guys have this storyline of 12 and 15 and growing through the music industry and quite honestly growing through the, moving through the growing pains.
Yeah.
So along the way, Dad says, you guys, you're on your own.
Yep.
You become entrepreneurs of your own business. You start to grow your own music.
Yeah.
What was the worst entrepreneurial moment for you up to this point? That's actually given you leeway to who you are today.
I think it was just the fact that we went through so many iterations of bands until we finally came to the conclusion of version 5. Like that was such a good moment for us when we decided that, because we went through like 5 and 5 years. We went through like how many members, and it was just a train wreck.
And it costs money to record an album, and you're basically blowing it because the band doesn't exist. And, because any mistakes we make, like we actually set up now where we want to be open to make mistakes, like if that makes any sense. Like
It does. We want to learn.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we always just kind of tried to take our best shot at it, and we learned something from it. Sometimes we won, sometimes we lost. Sometimes you spent some money on some stupid stuff, and you find out later that it didn't do you any good. But
yeah,
I don't know.
We didn't have any direction. We didn't have any direction for like 3 years probably. Where it's just kind of, we were just playing out. We weren't as serious about it because we knew the band wasn't going to last, and all this kind of dramatic crap,
It's
and you're like,
frustrating.
and it's like, and then that was when you're like, oh man, like it's like right when we were in college too, and we're like, what are we doing? It's like we were just like, what are we actually doing? Are we going to do this for real?
The toughest moment for us is it got to the point now where we got into our early 20s. And we didn't feel like we had gained anything from our experience.
Right.
We had been playing out for 7 years, and we had nothing to show for it.
We weren't writing material like hardly at all.
Just
throughout
covers.
any of that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
it's like we come to
Which
this.
is not bad. You would have a paycheck.
Nothing against. Yeah, nope.
Yeah,
I
nothing
get
against
why a
that
lot
at
of
all,
musicians
but-
end up there. For us, since we started there, we're like, to keep us going, we have to do our own
As a
stuff.
singer-songwriter, I get it. I'm there. I feel the same way as you do, which is there's a place for covers here.
Yeah.
There's a place for original music also, in the soul. This is the Super G Love Shake. It's got hints of orange and vanilla, and the L stands for lactose. So it's kind of that shake vibe to it. Cheers, fellas.
All right.
This is the Super G Love Shack.
Shake.
Just kidding, I did that on purpose. I did that.
You were singing Love Shack. God.
Tin Roof.
Good stuff.
Rusted.
It's good.
It's crispy. for being like that milkshake kind of a beer. It's not very milkshake. It's not thick. It's crisp.
Yep.
Yeah.
After I run, I could drink it.
During a
Yeah.
run.
During a run, I could put it in a bottle and have a tube come up.
What I like about it is I'm not really, super like a hoppy guy, but the citrus and the hops and everything is very like.
It doesn't taste that hoppy. For like
No,
a
it's
hop
really
beer. It has a
nice,
fairly
yeah,
high
it
IBU,
do.
but it's not that.
Yeah, it works.
Well, that's a good point. Let's talk about that. The IBU on this is a 108. If you're if you're up with the International Bitters unit, it's a 108.
Pretty high.
Which is pretty damn high. And actually, I don't think it's that hoppy.
No, yeah, no, exactly.
Tell me about your aha moment when you decided that version 5 was it. This is the direction that we're going.
For me, it was, we were just done with our band right before this, and I walked into Spencer's room, and he was remixing one of our old songs, and he was kind of just getting into production and the software and everything. And I walked in, and I thought the remix that he'd been working on was better than the original, and for me it was like, okay, he can produce. At least, even if we're just producing demos, we can produce and write in our own space. And for me, that was like, yeah, let's pursue this.
So, what was holding you back from becoming the musical entrepreneurs that you are today?
Like, just as we were deciding that we wanted to do this professionally, it was like, oh, college was coming up. Like, we should be going to college. We should be doing this stuff. We should do that. And all our peers were going away to college, a lot of them out of state and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, are we making the right choice? Because this, you know what I mean? Most people wouldn't be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this instead. And yeah, we still went to school, but with a very different mindset, I'd say, than most other people. And I think that was the moment where we had sat down, just the two of us personally, and had like a powwow, and we're like, okay, what are we doing? What are we committing to? And
I think
music came out.
I think the toughest thing probably for most musicians is just getting the revenue you need. For me, it's just like you want to do it, and it's hard to make money at it. It's a hard business, and for us, we are passionate enough to keep going. But the hardest thing for me has always been
You gotta fund it.
We gotta fund it.
somehow.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given?
Like I said, I like to learn from people. I'm open to it. I like listening to the people I like to listen to, their advice and things like that. And the only thing I feel like is kind of works in all cases is you have to trust in your own. You got to trust yourself.
You gotta trust yourself.
And it was so hard for us. I feel like we struggled with it because
we started in cover bands.
when we started doing
write
original
until-
stuff, what's good? We don't know what will people like, and eventually we found the biggest thing holding us back was ourselves.
Right.
So the biggest thing for me, and I've heard this from multiple people at the local level, and then I watch interviews for 9 Inch Nails and
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
Reznor got some great.
But he has, and for us, it's like, you got to trust what you're doing, because if you don't trust yourself, then the foundation you're building everything off of is no good.
This is a fantastic place to be. This is not my first time here.
The beers are good.
The beers are really, really
They're
good.
really good.
I mean, I know we're joking, but honestly, the beers are really, really good.
Yes.
And what we're drinking right now is an Evergreen Beer. So you can come back in and you can get these beers at any time of the season. So this next beer that we're going to try is the Kolsch. It's got an IBU of 22 and some crisp notes to it. So let's give it a try and let's talk about it.
All right.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about this is an IBU of 22. I might have this backwards because the last drink that we had an IBU of 108, and I feel like the hops on this lasts on the palate a little bit longer than the Super G Love Shake.
Yeah, I think. No, yeah, I think that they know how to use. They're using their hops just to complement a beer, and it's nothing overpowers.
It's light though.
That's
light.
why I like
It's a
it.
light
It's
beer,
light.
but I can taste the hops as opposed
See,
to the last
I'm
two
more of a
beers.
hoppy beer drinker in general, so
Sure.
for me this is like the I
This is
typically
where you
drink-
would start.
Yeah, and
The last
I
two
mean,
beers were not where you would
Yeah,
start.
over 100 is not uncommon for what I typically
Interesting.
drink. So like for me, like this is a lot less hoppy than I typically drink.
So,
I'm ready.
what is a habit that the two of you implement that keeps you successful in the journey that you have set out on?
We created a space where we create, and like I said, so we work with other producers and we'll work with other people, but we have a home studio, even if it's just for demos. We created a space for us to be creative in that we love to be in. It's postered with rock bands all over. We invite people in to come and hang out in kind of our studio and whatever. I feel, for me, environment means a lot. It would be hard for me to write a song in just a plain room with white walls and white floor and just be like, okay, write a song now. Like for me, it's like, no.
creative level there.
And I know some guys are like that. I woke up in the middle of the night, I had an idea, I ran with it. That works for them. For us, it's like I need a space that I want to be in. And even if we'll spend long weekends in the studio, and if we come up with nothing, we don't care.
Sure.
We just like being in that space. So
Yeah, I
that's the biggest
I
biggest
totally
thing for me
agree.
is like just create an environment that you want to be in, and that way you don't have any pressure to write. Like I can't write under pressure, man.
Just one at a time, but it might be the same. What are you currently listening to?
For me, mostly "The Day Is My Enemy" by The Prodigy.
Trouble starter, hunky instigator. I'm the fear addicted, danger illustrated.
the Prodigy.
The Prodigy is one of our bigger
Been around
influences
since like
forever. Yeah.
1993.
And they-
I think when they hit.
They hit like 94.
Firestarter.
Yeah,
Firestarter
93. It
is
was
when I bought
93,
their
I think.
album.
Yes.
And I
Oh,
was,
dude. Dude.
I was 12 years old when Firestarter came out. Were you guys even born?
I
Yeah.
wasn't.
No, that's great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
But for me, it showed because
I'm the Firestarter, and you
Dude,
love
that's
that
I
shit.
love the Prodigy.
So is that considered classic rock to you?
Dude, no. They're like one of our biggest influences. Prodigy is art.
Oh shit, they're great.
They're amazing.
See, so for
I'm
us,
sorry. Dude.
and for us, when we decided on our genre, we took both of our tastes into account. I came from more of that rock side. I love like the Who. I like Chevelle and a lot of rock stuff. And Spencer was getting into more. I mean, even
At
like
that
he was
time,
like
he was more electronic.
Chicago man.
Yeah, but yeah, Midwestern guy, that's good. But he was getting into more, I mean, like Depeche Mode and Moby.
When you discovered Depeche Mode, I mean, how old were you when you discovered
Dude,
Depeche
he
Mode?
did.
I'll be
that
honest.
wasn't my
I'll be
thing.
honest. I need to listen to more. I always feel like I need to be more involved than I am. But I found out about him like 5 years ago, maybe.
I feel
and,
like
and
an
I'm like,
idiot. 'cause
I'm like,
yeah.
oh wait a minute, where
Yeah.
have I been?
Yeah.
I still
I totally feel
I
that was the
still
same way.
feel like,
I still-
where have I been?
Yes.
I still feel like, where have I been?
I could not agree with
Like,
you.
I need to listen to their whole discography like 10 times over until I've been like, oh, now I get it. You know,
Yeah.
like, but
And-
they're amazing. But I'm
And
like right now, I've been listening to Marina and the Diamonds a lot. I just, I want good pop. Like,
Yeah, okay.
give me good pop music.
Kind
You
of
know?
blows my mind a little bit.
No, man. We write like more or less pop formatted type music. It's like I just want to hear more good pop. Like, give me good pop that I just want to crank
Sure.
all the time. Marina and the Diamonds, so far, I haven't been disappointed. Like, I like this. It sounds really good. Always 9 Inch Nails. I listen to 9 Inch Nails all the time. Reznor's one of our biggest influences, for sure. Yeah, Prodigy's
There's-
always good.
there's-
Days My Enemy is an amazing album.
If there wasn't ever a fella to be 100% independent, it'd be Trent Reznor.
No, he's kidding.
Jesus, the guy does everything.
that's
I wouldn't be surprised if he wrote his own commercials.
Yeah. Well, only recently did he get another official member of Nine Inch Nails.
One.
Yeah,
Atticus
one.
Ross.
That's it.
Yep. Only one.
Cheers,
But
fellas.
I just feel normal now, though.
You do. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's called alcoholism. Finally, how can we find you? Tell the viewers how we can find you.
You can find us online, first of all. Facebook, Version 5 Music. We're on there. Our website is version5music.com. Twitter handle's the same. Instagram handle's the same. And YouTube is going to be Version 5 Video instead of music. And you can find us on there too, where we post all of our music videos, cover videos, anything we're pumping out. It's going to be on all those things. Yep.
I love it. Andy, Spencer, I appreciate you hanging out with me
Thank you.
on another episode of Brews and Eats with Badass Beats. My name is Judd Hailey. This is version 5. We'll see you on another episode. Cheers, fellas. One to you, one to them, one to me. I'm gonna keep it happen. I'm gonna do it one more time, lady. I'll do it. I'll nail this time, buddy. It's gonna be
Facebook Live watching all of us?
Yeah. Yeah, this is Facebook Live. This is how it is. It's raw. Andy and Spencer, you guys are truly badasses. I appreciate you hanging out with us on another episode.
It looks.
Yeah, 5 beers. Right? Come on. Andy, Spencer, I appreciate you hanging out with me. You are truly badasses. I appreciate you hanging out with us on another episode of Brews and Eats with Badass Peeps. My name is Judd. This is Andy Spencer with version 5. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to them. Cheers to us. We'll see you on another episode.